got the magic happening. Girl, the feeling is great and I'm loving it. Hey, we got the magic happening. Everything that we need, everything that we beg, girl, the magic's happening. And the feeling is great and this feeling is great, girl, the magic happening. It's happening.
Like for y'all two dudes that I look at and I admire and they push me, y'all always keep pushing, no matter what. You know what I mean? It could be, y'all could be in the dirt. You know what I'm saying? Just rock bottom, but y'all gonna keep grinding and y'all ain't gonna never give up. You know what I mean? And that strength and that resilience, you know what I mean? When I be in my tough points and my tough spots, and I be like, man, if bro and them be pushing through they shit, you know what I mean? And just living, taking care of what they gotta take care of, I could do that shit too. I should be able to do that too. So that's one thing that like I truly admire out of both of y'all. You know what I mean? Just hard work and just unwilling to quit or give up. You know what I mean? Always gonna be willing and able to do whatever it takes, you know what I mean, to keep yourself going. So that's what I admire about both of y'all.
I think what I admire, two different things, kind of. Tyson is very motivational, man. He's got a drive out this world, you know. If he's gonna do what he has to do to get what he gets, you know what I'm saying, the right way. And you know, there's a lot of people out here that don't have that, you know, just lazy and you know, they give up. He ain't gave up once. Mm-hmm. And I've known him for a while. Like I said, this dude had 20 jobs, but he got 20 good jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you know, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. You do what you gotta do. At Marcus, on the other hand, I admire his success. You know what I'm saying? And it's still growing. Is what's dope about it. You know. We've come a long way, and I've seen this man go from here to there, and it motivates me. You know, I'm a father too, and I do my thing, but it makes me want to do more, because I'm like, man, this dude is killing it right now. Between you and Kayla, you guys are awesome. You guys are a true, strong couple. Me personally, I wish I was there to have somebody like that in my life. I'm not quite there, but I'm hoping when I do, I'll find some equivalent to what you guys have. And my kids, like, they look up to me, but I wish, you know, 'cause we don't all kick it together, which I wish we would more. Yeah. My kids got a lot to look up when it comes to you guys, like especially like my daughter and my son. Like, it means a lot to have people like y'all around, because you're successful and motivation. It's just key qualities that every one person should have, and you guys have it the best. And I don't know, I think that's what I admire most about you guys. You guys are killing it.
You cry, bro. Emotional. I don't care. I'm always emotional. They know that. I'm the little brother too, so it is what it is. But as far as Eddie, like with you, man, you got two kids that no matter what the situation was, you never gave up. Like, you still are your days. It don't matter what you got going on. Like, you work around work, you gonna work around whatever and make sure that them kids are still there. Whereas for me, you know what I'm saying, I just kind of got to a point where I was like, you know, forget this. But looking at you made me be like, I still gotta be there. Like, I still gotta, no matter what I'm going through with my baby mothers and all that, like, you put up with whatever and still be there as a father. And then just over the years, bro, your hustle is ridiculous. Yeah. Like, your grind is ridiculous. No matter background, nothing. Like, you get it. You get to it with no problems. And I always appreciated that. And I always appreciated your loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've always been, like, really loyal. Like, no matter, we ain't got to see each other for years, and I can come back around, and it's still like, what's happening, bro? You good? You straight? And I can call you when you gonna be there. Like, your loyalty is just ridiculous. And I appreciate it, man. I appreciate, like, how you are with your kids as a father. Like, you teach me stuff without even knowing it. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to my kids, because it be hard sometimes. I'll be over it, dog, and I just look at you and be like, bro, still, like, he hasn't missed a beat with his kids. Ain't too many men that can say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't missed a beat, bro. And I admire that because y'all ain't in the same household and you still like clockwork. Since day one, you've been there. You know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate that a lot, man. And then Marcus, man, words can't explain. I tell you all the time how proud I am of you because, like you said, we started working at Jules together. You like the definition of a man. Like, you keep the same job. You like, you know what I'm saying? This guy, like, went to school and was like, you know, I like doing this, but that ain't where I'm at. I go do something else. And you've been on the same job now for all these years. You successful, whereas me, I'm more of a, I don't like it, I'm done. And you like stick through it. Like, your stick through is cold. You know what I'm saying? You there, and then just watching how you grown up as far as like your relationships and all that. Like, you can't say that like you ain't got a whole bunch of women that be like, I had a piece of more Marcus. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas me, I done gave myself to everybody. It's like, hey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I appreciate that because most guys be glad to be like, oh, bro, da 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 da. And you've been solid, bro. Like, in your relationships, all that, you've been solid. Now you married, you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? And we done talked and had so many conversations where we're able to communicate for real. Like, you can ask me questions, I can ask you. You give me good feedback. You ain't like, oh no, bro, leave her alone. She's a duck. You know what I'm saying? Go get them other hoes. You don't never be on that, bro. And that's like solid friendship and advice. Always been there for your mom. You know what I'm saying? Your little brother. Like, just watching how you take care of business, bro. You've always been business savvy and doing your thing. The years in Virginia, bro, like, we just was rocking. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just admire just how you be rocking, bro, and how you be moving. Your success, like Eddie said, it's ridiculous, bro. Like, I'm trying to, I be like, man, I got to get there so I can go buy a new car like Marcus, and I want a new truck and my credit to be good too, like Marcus. You know what I'm saying? Like, we the same age, but it like, it ain't a jealous thing. It's more of like, it's a motivation and a push to be like, oh, bro, like, I want to be able to go cash out with bro too. Like, I want some Yeezys, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to do that. And just to, like, Sugar, everything, bro, has elevated to who you are, bro. And I appreciate you always been dressing fly. So it's really like, bro, you slowing down now. Like, you be coming down now. You just be like, hey, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But Mark,
really don't care.
Mark done stepped it up though. Like, he went from like Dookies and K-Swiss to he out here now. K-Swiss used to
be my shit.
K-Swiss was
he ain't lying, bro. K-Swiss used to be my shit. Only because they was like $30. Like, we ain't had no fucking money to be going to our schools, bro. I used to rock the shit out
bro,
there.
like everything.
Bro.
You gonna keep them crisp.
Dog.
Have a little white polish. And
Dog. He ain't lying, man. I swear to God, I used to be at the crib.
Lady in the face,
man, yeah. So I just appreciate it, man. I appreciate the growth everywhere, dog.
So one thing I really admire about you is, for sure, your perseverance. Like, you can go through anything in life. You can go through just losing a job, you know, going through a divorce, being a single mother, dealing with the different changes of life, and you just still come out so strong. Like, even right now, we going through a whole pandemic, and you on fleek effortlessly. And the perseverance part, you just really don't look like what you've gone through. And that's something that I've always admired, and something that I will always look up to you for.
Thank you.
You are.
What goes into your personality, no matter where you are, you always steal the show. You stand out, your smile, your beauty. It goes also into you're so ambitious. Like, you may be younger, but you're a role model. You did everything like a young girl would ever want to do, from going to one of the top schools to becoming that Delta, to even living out your life. Like, you know, no matter what comes your way, like, you like, okay, and it's not going to stop me, and you do it. Even the craziest conversations we have, and I'm like, if you tripping, you go do it. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't like it in the end, you still did it. And I admire that about you. Like, I swear, it keeps me going.
Thank you.
I love you.
This is so funny.
Things that I do love about Envy is I love her connection to God. She is a turn up queen. Y'all might think she party and she love to be cute, but real life, I feel like Envy is a shepherd for God. And I bet you any of our friends could tell you that. Like, she gonna pray for you. She gonna be there with a care package bag. She gonna be there with whatever it is that you need to make sure you can get whatever through whatever troubling time that is. And that's the thing I love most about her. The other thing too is she's always a brighter side of things kind of a person, if you believe it or not. Is she always?
And that wasn't a shameless plug for Brighter Side of Milwaukee on Instagram.
It wasn't, but that's so you. She literally always is like glass half full versus glass half empty. She like, but look, at the top it sparkles and you like sparkles. So just smile about it. You know, God put those sparkles there for you. Sure. Kind of a situation.
Yeah.
And she come through. If I can't depend on a single soul, not a single soul, I know I could depend on her. Sick, healthy, tired, off work, tired of talking to people, I'll be like, Envy gonna do it. And then I call and she be like, I'll be there.
Oh, there. That's funny.
Yeah.
You know what though? I love Shay for so many reasons. But honestly, I love Shay because of how she responds to me, how she's never on any day felt or told me, oh gosh, it's a lot, right?
Cry
Okay.
if you want to. Go ahead. You love me.
I ain't no
I saw a tear, y'all. I swear I did. Don't try to believe too hard.
Just a backstory. I grew up with not a whole lot of friends or whatever, and not even a whole lot of family because my family lives out in California. But everybody always had an issue with me. It was, I was too much, I was too bright, I did this, I did that, or whatever. And so to meet somebody who, even at the point where she wasn't considered like the best version of her, she still loved me and was like, no girl, you dope too. No, you okay, like we'll figure this out together. And she's super dependable. And I know that for certain, if I can't call on nobody, y'all, I know that I can call on two people, and it's Shay and it's my mama. And it's amazing when you go through life's trials, because we always go through so much, you know, in human nature. We go through breakups and, you know, parenting and things like that. I can always call this girl, and she be asleep by 8, but she'll answer the phone for me at 11:30, 12, whatever time it is, and she'll call me and she'll be like, no, this is what it is. I got you. You're good. Your kids are good. Do you know how much that means to somebody who was a single parent since 16? Your kids are good.
We literally,
Man,
when
listen.
I tell y'all we co-parent, we
really
really do.
I admire who you are as a person, like your selflessness. I think you do a lot for other people. You're so quick to just give so much of yourself, even though you got to make yourself a priority too. You give a lot of yourself. You're selfless. I love how you love your wife. I'm going to say that. You love your wife. You love your kids. How your daughters are daddy's girls. Like, you're a girl dad. I love that about you, and you embrace that. That's just a powerful thing. I love that I can have, or I admire the fact that you can have, or that I can have intellectual conversations with you, and everything isn't all smiles and giggles, and we can have real talk, and I can talk to you without being judged. And I admire the fact that you're a go-getter. You are a hustler. You're gonna, you know, make sure you and your family have what y'all need. And I can appreciate that about you, in that you having that as my friend.
Let me see. What I appreciate about you or admire about you is first, no, your ability to be able to talk to, like you super easy to talk to, not judgmental. You are receptive to feedback. I do like, I mean, outside of like just our relationship from when I met you, I think the stuff that you're doing in our community and stuff is super admirable. So that's a big piece of things that I admire to you. I think as far as like women go, you are a strong woman, and a super advocate for other women. know, it's a lot of stuff. I think you to be a 100 person is one of those things that I admire about you. You definitely a go-getter, and I think it's that hustler spirit about you that is that's admirable, I guess.
Eb is always there. Like, yeah, their dad is there, their dads are there, but Eb is that person where it's like, okay, so I wanted to go to Atlanta, and everything was stopping me. Tatum, I couldn't find nobody to keep Tatum. So Eb came over, and I basically was like, the girl's dad, and me was like, Eb, you should take Tatum.
And it was like 11.
It was like 11 at night.
And I had to wake up early in the morning to lay my wig.
Yes. So Eb like, what? I'm like, you should keep Tatum. I want to go to Atlanta. I'm like, now I done threw my sister in there. She don't know. I'm like, you can drop him off to Jasmine at 12 on Sunday, but can you get Tatum? I want to go to Atlanta. So she like, okay. Well, I gotta come get him at like 6 in the morning. Eb is very, very, very punctual. Like, she has to be on time. So I'm like, okay, you gonna really get him? She like, yeah. So the next morning come, Eb show up to get Tatum. I'm going out of town. Like, I'm gonna go have fun. And it's always like that with Eb. Like, Eb has always been that. We're both like homebodies, but I like to get out a little bit more than her. And she's always been that friend where I can call and be like, Eb, can I bring you Brio? Can I bring you Bailey? Can I bring you Tatum? And she's like, yeah. Or, matter of fact, I don't gotta ask nothing. I get off work on Friday, Eb is at my door. Hey, can you pack his bag real quick? Can we have burgers and fries? Pack his bag. I'm like, well, what you doing? Oh, Tatum finna go. We'll see you Sunday after church. Like, that's Eb. Like, and I thank you for that, because I always get a break. Like, I'll be 28, but not too many parents, especially single moms, get breaks like I do. I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Beyond measures. Like, I'm so blessed, from my family to my best friend. Like, I am able to live my life thanks to my support system.
Yeah.
And I will always appreciate that. So when I make it, we all make it. Okay.
So one specific time where I felt really supported is really hard, because Ed is for sure. I have 5 people in my support system, if that, and I know she's one of the top 3. So one specific time where I felt really, really supported by her was I was in between jobs. I had gotten laid off, fired, because I came to work high as hell. No, you know what? I didn't come high. I came to work sober, and then I took an hour lunch break because I had a little boyfriend at the time, and he wanted to smoke me out so I could, my nerves would be straight, you know what I mean, when I go back into that crazy, crazy work environment. So ended up smoking, and then went back to work, and at the time, this specific day, we had an audit from corporate, and they come, and I was basically training to be a phlebotomist. So I was in a booth. It was a very, very small booth, and it was 3 niggas in there auditing me, in addition to 3 of like the leadership staff to watch me do my job. So I'm sweating, I'm paranoid because I'm high, I smell real loud, and then I ended up leaving out of the booth to take a little break just to decompress. And when I get back to the floor, that's when my manager was like, yeah, you need to come to the back real quick, we got a phone call waiting on you. So I went back there, and I almost broke down, but real niggas don't cry. So I just I swallowed it. I did what I had to do, and they ended up taking me to Concentra, and then I was giving them the run around, like missing the cup on purpose.
She kept texting me like, he keep telling me to pee, but I won't pee.
I can't pee. They gave me 3 cups.
And she was like, I told him I can't pee in front of people.
And then they didn't give me, my manager didn't give me to Concentra until 3:30, and they closed at 5, and I was pulling out every trick in the book to not pee, because I knew I would drop dirty. So long story short, they had me on like a 14-day leave to do some investigation, so they said. So during that time, I just felt really supported by Ev. She was like, oh, such and such and such and such is hiring, and this is different ways that you can still make money, and outside of just like the tactile ways to make money or to support me, she was just also there with so much love. Her doors are always open to her home. I remember she told me this when I watched Tatum during her ATL weekend getaway, and I was like, you trust me with Tatum? She was like, you the only person I trust with Tatum. And I feel like prior to, and that was just what, a month and some change ago, but a few years ago, it was a few years ago, I could see it in her actions. That was just something that didn't have to be, it was like an unspoken truth in our friendship, that she really trusted me, that she's there for me. And when I was just going through that, because I mean, it was probably my most solid job that I had in a long time, that I really enjoyed. So when I got fired from this job, I really thought that the world was coming to an end, but she just provided me with so many different resources, and let me stay at her place. And I just love her kids. Like 2 out of her 3 kids are my godchildren, so I take titles very seriously. So them being my godchildren, just giving me that extra boost of strength, and showing me so much love. I keep reiterating that, but just love, it's just so important to feel loved and supported when you're going through a drought or like a desert season in your life. So that's when I felt most supported. And then I came out of it, started working for US Bank, and everything was all good. Everything was good. I just felt really, really just held down in that moment, when I just felt like there was no light at the end of the tunnel. And she was right there trekking with me the whole time.
Steph been there for me, like, and I think that's where that female perspective come in. Like, if it's certain things, I don't like that I say so much. If it's certain things that I am not maybe considering from the opposite sex or whatever, or maybe my perspective, which I could be a little bit like stubborn and bullheaded, like if I need to just kind of bounce something off her and just see, like, basically it's like, am I tripping, or am I, not? And I think she's there for, and I don't know if it's just one thing that I could think of, but it's a lot of times where she's there to listen, and then give me some point of feedback that I could use. So that's the kind of support I need. I think anybody who around me, like, I never wanted a yes person around me, period. You know what I'm saying? I don't want a yes wife. I don't want anybody to just be where they're gonna agree with me totally. I need to see both. You know what I'm saying? Like, all sides of the story. And that's how she supports me, is by continuing to do that. It's just where she can keep it kind of unbiased, even though she knows, like, my friend. I think she probably knows what things would trigger me, probably hurt my feelings or whatever. But I need the real, so she keep giving me the real, and that I keep needing.
Yes. These are ways or situations that don't make Facebook or Instagram or social media. I think the best part of having, just like friendship, is having a safe space and a safe ground where you can go talk to this person and they not judge you. So outside of business, because business actually let us, like, when we're doing business, like, having these conversations. So it could be a situation from the last situation, the last situation don't make social media, so I ain't talking about it. But like the last situation where I was just like, dude really X, Y, and Z, and like, just being able to, soon as we walk through the door to print, it's like, let me tell you about what you think I should do. And like, I can say that he's never steered me wrong, or he's like, well, Stephanie, you knew, or this is, and just being like real talk is a great way. I know we not business wise, but my business outside of Lewis, I think that he's always been supportive too, just like in the events I've had, and that means a lot to me from anyone. So I would say that as well.
I would say, I think it was like 2009, 2010 when I moved out to Virginia. It was a bunch of stuff going on at home. I just wasn't in a good spot mentally. I didn't know, I went to school for something and ended up not wanting to do it. So bro was like, man, just come out here, dog, And I'm like, man, I ain't got no job out there, who hired? He like, man, just come out, bro, and we'll figure it out when you get here. And during that time I was out there, I found one gig at a car dealership. No, I swear to God, man. I found one gig at a car dealership, man, and that was some bull. And then, but during that time, though, like I say, just seeing the way Tyson was grinding, like him just allowing me to come out there and get that breath of fresh air. I'm talking about, bro took care of everything. Bro went out and bought me a new bed. He made sure we had groceries in the crib. I ain't have no money. He know I'm the type of dude that if I ain't got no money, I don't want to be out kicking it and doing all this type of stuff. So he took me to his people crib. We in the projects in Norfolk, Virginia, shooting dice, eating crabs. You know what I'm saying? Just doing all this free stuff. I mean, the dice wasn't free, but you know what I mean? We was kicking it, playing Madden at people's house, kicking it with people at the church. It like he just gave me a breath of fresh air and just motivated me to get myself together. You know what I mean? And from that point, and I don't necessarily know if I told you this, but I do appreciate you for that. You know what I mean? And kind of from that point, I just knew, all right, it's time to stop messing around. And man, I just got on my grind and been grinding ever since. And like I say, I appreciate you for supporting me through that little break there.
Fun, bro.
Yeah.
It's fun, bro.
I don't know. Tyson's always been supportive. He was gone to Virginia for a minute, so it was always, whether he wasn't always there, but he was always supportive mentally. He would call you, tell you what he had to say.
Mm-hmm.
But a big point for me in my life where I was supportive both, I ain't gonna lie, not to throw nothing against my other friends, but Marcus, when I at one point I was locked up for a year, and that was a tough ass time for me.
Yeah.
And Marcus was there for me like you wouldn't believe. You were in Virginia, so I understood everything, you know what I'm saying? But if I called, you would answer. Marcus, on that, he would come. He came out to visit me, and whenever I called or wrote, he was there for me. And there was people there for me too, but that meant the most, because there's more to that story that things could have been real shitty, and the fact that it didn't turn out that way, I'm happy. But he was there for me, like shit could have been bad for you too, and you didn't just leave me high and dry, like a lot of people did, and I appreciate that, man. But just to be short, it was that moment in my life when I was locked up. You were there for me, dog, and that meant the most to me because that was a tough time.
Shit, that time period, I didn't want to say it. I wanted to let him get his piece out, but during that time period, that was during the time when I actually moved out to Virginia.
Right.
Because during that period, it was like damn, you know what I mean? Like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? And then, like, what are we doing? Like, why are we just wasting time? And then, and just going out there with bro, that just gave me that time to clear my head and get stuff together. But, man, that was tough. Like, I was feeling for you and trying to get my stuff together,
right,
too. You know what I mean? So
that's why it meant the most to me.
Yeah.
It was like you still had your own shit going on. You still found the time to be there for me,
Yeah.
I said, all my guys there was a lot of people that warned, but that shit meant shit to me, man.
Man, the support, I've always felt supported. Like I said, I've been married twice. These guys done supported me from jumping off the deep end, both of them. Out of the military, supported during school, like supported just the motivation to keep going. Always been there, like just regardless of what it was, I know I can call them and talk to them, and they gonna give me solid advice, and keep me laughing when I was ready to go and do stuff to people and really hurt some people. You know what I'm saying? Calling Mark or Eddie and just being like, well, Eddie was kind of more like, is it serious? Because, I'm down. But, you know what I'm saying? Like just being there, though, like, ready for whatever. And, Marcus just always been a level-headed, like, bro, you tripping. Like, you got to bring it back in. But, like, them time, bro, you talk about the time in Virginia, that's what I was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what I was supposed to do. Bro, you went through your little thing. Like, the matter of fact, when bro came down to Virginia stuff, that's when I kind of found out because I was gone. Mm-hmm. So I really didn't know. I found out kind of late and was like, this nigga, what and why? Like, why? Like, no, don't let it have to be true. But, like you said, if you called, I went on answer. That's what I'm supposed to do, though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all supported me through, whatever. And I've been through a lot. But even when moms had left me at the crib on Palmer, bro, like, everybody kind of made sure I was good. And my mama wasn't there. I could go to y'all house, y'all moms, and everything was just the up and up. So the support was just ridiculous, regardless of when it is, through my kids, all that. So
when I'm on my tech journey, I got invited to do an incubator for 10 weeks. And they kept saying, bring somebody with you, bring your team. And I was like,
And she never told me.
I'm like, I don't have a team. In my mind, I'm like, dang. But then when I was going to like our meetups, everybody was there with like their team. And honestly, God, truth, I felt some kind of way. Like, it's just me and everybody at the meetups. They got their crew, they got their wives, they got whoever.
Still, I didn't know.
True. I hadn't told her. And so that Monday, it started in January. We were going to go hang out. And she was like, Shay, something. Let's meet up after work. And I was like, I can't. I got class. And then I was like, wait. I'm like, listen. So they said I can bring people to my class. I can bring my team. I'm like, you can come if you want to come. And she was like, wait a minute. Hold on. Pause. Why are you just now telling me this? And why would you think I wouldn't want to come? I'm like, because it's technology. Like, it might be boring to you. She was like, Shay, shut up. Pulled right up and literally spent the whole entire 9 weeks with me in class. She missed 1 week, and that was because she came sick. But this particular week, she couldn't come. She was so sick, and work was exhausting. Whatever. But for 9 weeks, she came, and I mean, she participated. She participated in mentorship experiences. She gave valuable opinions on other entrepreneurs' adventures or products that they wanted to do. Like, she front and center. We sat at the front of the class for 9 weeks together, and that was my moment. Every time she showed up, I was like, damn, like, I love her. Like, that's so dope. Like, if anybody can say whatever they want to say about Envy, but the reality is that's my rock. She come 100 grand for me anytime I'm needed, and that made me that she kept showing up. I'm thinking she was gonna come the first time.
She would call me like, you don't have to come if you don't want to. I know you had a long day, and I'm like, what? Oh, shut up! I'm finna leave work right now.
Like, don't leave me. Pull up. I'm coming. And she showed up for me. So that for me was just like super, like a new dope experience for us to come and sit down and do something different outside of like girls wine in the club and music and so on and so forth. It was way deeper than that.
Well, my dog passed last year in September, and I was driving my dog to the animal hospital, and he died like in my lap in the car on the way there. And I must have been driving crazy because the sheriff pulled up right behind me on North Avenue off of Mayfair Road, right? And they like, what's going on? But I cannot even form sentences. Like, I am going nuts because this is my baby. So we get into the hospital. Like, I remember the police had to park my car for me because I think my car was just rolling down North Avenue because I had jumped out the car trying to get to my baby. And the nurse kept saying, like, ma'am, can we call? Who can we call for you? Because I am losing my mind. And I was like, call my best friend. And I just handed the phone, and the lady looked at my favorites, and she called a number like here, and it was her. And I don't even know if she could understand what I was saying. I'm like, Mikey, you know, whatever. Y'all, she pulled up so quick.
I was like, oh, snap, Mikey.
She pulled up so quick as I laid on this table, y'all, over my dog, boo-hoo crying. Like, she just laid over me. She was rubbing my back. She's like, it's going to be okay. Like,
do y'all know my feelings was hurt? Because like, when I tell you they loved Mikey, like, Mikey was their baby, and I couldn't understand it. I was like, dog.
And I couldn't even tell anybody. I think my youngest daughter was at her friend's house. My oldest daughter was in college at a party, at a home party. And I'm at home by myself. Like, I'm at this hospital, like, by myself. And she pulled up so quick. And I can just
And no lie, I was in the middle of like Netflix and chill. And I was like, hey, I gotta go.
I didn't even know that. Oh,
I was in the middle of Netflix and chill. And I jumped up quick, like, hey, grab your stuff. I gotta go, you gotta go too. But I'm out of here.
I don't even know how long we were there, right? But fast forward. So now I gotta pick up my dog's ashes a few days later. And the nurse was like, I'm so glad your sister came. I'm so glad your sister came, honey, because we didn't know how to help you because your feelings was definitely hurt. Like,
I came in and they was just like
I was on the floor. Like as soon as I walked in, y'all, like they were picking me up off the floor, and they were like, we didn't know how or what we was gonna do if your sister hadn't shown up. And I laughed in my head as I'm picking up my dog's ashes, right? Because I'm crying going in. But when she tell me that, I'm laughing in my head like, this girl been my sister. She don't even know it. She don't even, again, she's my sister. Like, she don't even know
and
it.
we don't even do that fake sister stuff. Like, we've
At
never
all.
been
Never
like,
sister,
oh, we're
never
sisters
cousin,
or we're
never.
cousins. Nope, we friends,
But-
we best friends.
But at that point, like, I was like, dang.
But we family.
Like, the only person I could call, I knew.
Always.
Somebody who didn't even like my dog. I am such a sensitive person. I'm not like no crybaby, weak, soft type of person, but I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. Like, I've been through a ton of different experiences that make me very open. And for that reason, when situations happen, I always put myself in that person's shoes, either because I remember, you know, or because I remember that I'm human and all of us have flaws and different things. So I really try to empathize with whatever that situation is. My best friend, her lovely self, she's so insensitive. Like, she is so insensitive to the point where that's when I know I have to censor what I say to her. I'm like, I'll just wait until later because she doesn't get it. If it don't hit her home, and it ain't about them kids or sex trafficking, she gonna be like, I know that's sad and I'm gonna pray for her. But if this was happening, then that wouldn't have happened and they shouldn't have been in that situation. And I'll be like, oh my God, why would you say that? Like, Jesus loves us all and we all have our own cross to bear. You should not judge these people like that.
That is
But
very
that's
accurate.
accurate.
But
Absolutely.
I'm more, I think it's not that I'm insensitive. I'm more.
Find the word for it. Find a pretty word for it.
It's not pretty. The reality is I'm more of a realist when it comes to situations. Like,
Don't even get no example.
I'm not. Had you followed the rules and been where you were supposed to be, then whatever the situation was wouldn't have happened. Like, you were given
She's
rules.
a realist, but she's definitely like when the
But
situation
I do
home,
think I am
she'll call me back.
insensitive.
She'll call me back like, dang, remember that one situation you told me about? And I looked at you like, why is you crying? What is upset?
true.
Woo, woo, woo. Like, I went through it and now I understand. And I'm like, I could beat you up because remember
She definitely
how you tried to tell me I was crazy.
That definitely happened.
Like, remember when you tried to say that I was crazy? Oh, okay, now you understand. Oh, all right, best friend. Okay. But she can be insensitive as long as nobody insensitive to her.
That is
We
true.
won't have no problems.
That is true though.
I think the crazy part is some of the stuff is super similar. Like, I think while we, like, I call myself like emotional unknown because I never consider myself like a popular person, and it was not my aspirations to ever be popular. I don't like crowds, and as much as Steph be out, Steph don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Steph don't like. I ain't gonna say like the spotlight because she embraces that part of it. Not that she necessarily needs it, but it's just one of the things like we kind of like introverts, but we know we have to be out here, so that's different. Where we are not different is she has like a anxiety for things like if it's not gonna be done, I think according to like a plan for stuff, it is difficult for her to deal with. I am more easygoing just because I think things are going to happen, and I've been in a place where I've had anxiety about like this is not going by the time frame that I'm thinking of, and this is not going to work, and this plan is not going to come to fruition because these time and checkpoints aren't. But I don't know, maybe it's from work, maybe it's from life where I understand everything is kind of fluid and it's gonna go. So I know, especially in this relationship, I have to be more calm when it comes to that stuff and be more reassuring, because I know we are so different when it comes to this thing. And I think I'm different from a lot of people when it comes to that.
That's the one thing that stood out. He's way more nonchalant than me. Way more.
And it's not about, I think, just even business, because I think when I said it, I thought of business, like shirts and all that stuff, but it's just not. Like even in personal questions, relationships, all that stuff, I am way more nonchalant, and that's sometimes why I need that perspective from her, because sometimes I'm a little too nonchalant about certain stuff. So if I'm saying like, it is what it is, and she like, no, it ain't what it is, and you need to maybe concentrate on this a little bit more, give it a little bit more attention to this thing. She stay on me about me giving more attention really to myself and prioritizing myself. And I'm just one of them like people who are just like, it is what it is, and I'm gonna just let it go as it go, you know.
So one of the many times that I've been very proud of you, this time in particular, is when you had just had Brielle. It was just literally the first thing that came to mind, and you were staying, you know, on Bradley Road, and you had the Ford Fiesta, and I remember just coming home from school, and I was like, this girl got it going on. Like, you had a really solid, like, friend group, you know what I mean? It just seems like your family was there to support you so much. It was your first child, you know what I mean? And I just felt like you just bodied that whole experience. Like, with your first child, I would just literally sit back like, damn, she got it going on. Like, house was clean, you know what I mean? Like, you always had people to hang out with, and I just felt like in that moment I was so proud of you because you were so well-rounded at such a young age, and even like, you know, being there every step of the way with all three kids, but especially with Brielle when it was like a foreign language to you. And I could only do so much because, you know, after a couple months I'm going back to school, but I was just so proud. You was just like, you just bodied that whole experience with Brielle. So I'm still very proud, as you can see. But in that moment I just have a lot of little conversations with myself like, this, she really got it going on.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moment where I'm proud of you is every time you accomplish a goal. From getting that degree to losing a job. One time I do have to say, and it just like hit me. Mm-hmm. The moment where I seen you failing, I seen you falling, and I prayed for you, I prayed over you, and I had to come to you and tell you like, Ed, you fucking up. You got to get your life together. But I seen you do things that you would never do, and it hurt me to watch you do that. So I knew I had to speak up, and as soon as I told you that, within days, you switched your whole life around. Yeah. You got you a job. You got to doing better. You got to laying off the extracurricular activities, the crazy stuff you was doing. Like, you really got your life together, and I was proud of you. And you have not ever went back to that way. You've been on it. You've been doing good since then, and I'm so proud of you. And I probably haven't told you lately, but you're doing phenomenal.
Thank you.
With your position, this counselor. Y'all know Ed came to my house and was like, can I give Brielle a book? And I'm like, what you want this book for? She said she sat in her car and read a book to her students. Yeah. I don't know if y'all know she's a counselor. My best friend's a counselor. Hey. But she read to her students, and that warmed my heart. And during this time, it's hard, and kids, and I'm a mom, and it's hard trying to teach your kids. Like, I'm very hands-on, but I cannot teach you how your teacher can teach you. Yeah. And I admit that. So for her to do that meant a lot. Like, it meant so much, because you guys are the parents when we're not there. And I try to do the best I can at home, but like that extra help and what you did, that meant so much, because I've been that kid that didn't have nobody. Yeah. So I know how that feels, and I know that you touched some people out there, and it was just like seeing that, I was just like, dude, you are a bomb.
Thank you.
Like, bomb, you always go above and beyond.
I just do it out the kindness of my
and
heart.
You do. Like, that's just awesome, dude. I love you.
I love you too.
I was proud of you about the store. I was actually the entire priority movement. I've been proud of you because I think I was there from I was there from the beginning. I remember the text message, like, I got 32 sweatshirts that I'm gonna do for my birthday, and it's just this year we're gonna make yourself a priority, and to seeing how that changed, and to me not getting to see my kids as much has been one of those things. No, okay, but from seeing it from that to what it currently is with the store and things like that, I'm super proud of you for how the way you handle your business and doing that and kind of managing and juggling everything that you already had on your plate, and then now you also, you know, kind of blossom the business out of nowhere.
No, I was proud, honestly, honest moment, when you did your vow renewal with your wife, 10 years. And I say that because it says, in considering what y'all been through, it says a lot about you as a man. And again, like, my respect of you comes from who you are as a man. So just to see you juggle everything and keep everything afloat, my nigga.
You had gone through a really rocky patch for a while prior to this. And I mean, you was mean. Ooh, you were so mean. And I was like, I don't know who this is, Lord. I'm my best friend. But you were going through a lot. You were transitioning into moving back to Milwaukee, which you didn't even want to do, but you had to do. And I watched you single-handedly put all the pieces back to your puzzle. Like when it came to finding a house, figuring out the kids' school, and then you settled down and you worked, and then you figured out what you were going to do next. And I think a part of me is, you know, I'll start projects, and it's really hard for me to complete them if I don't have the support of everybody else. But prior to you even mentioning your business ventures, Secure Bridges, you had mentioned a few things, but like you didn't ask anybody for approval, acceptance, understanding. You literally said, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what is going to happen. And I sat back and I watched, and then you're like, nope, I got this person doing this, and I hired this person, and I got this event, and I'm about to do this. And I was like, a part of me felt left out, like, well, I'm your best friend, why didn't you tell me? But it was a moment where I was like, oh my goodness, like, this girl is unstoppable. If you can do all of this in the midst of chaos, because there was chaos at the moment, and still find a way to give yourself to others, not only is that a way of God, right? Saying like, hey, even when I'm hurting, I'm going to help somebody else, which is the most miraculous thing a human being can do. Step outside of themselves to help other people. But then you showed our kids, like, oh, don't let them stop moving just because whatever else is going on. Like, this is what we have to do. And your mission is even more beautiful because, once again, it's you stepping outside of yourself to help other people. And you got from like A to T by yourself before you ever even said like, hey, like, does anybody want to join? Does anybody want to do this? And so to see you work a business from the ground up by yourself while working 2 jobs at the time, taking care of your kids, just getting over a heartbreak, like figuring out your household, it was miraculous. And I can honestly say at that point, I felt like you was my she-bro.
My moment was your bounce back from your whole ankle break, which took you out, baby. I'm sorry. If I've never told you before, it took you out. It did. So to see you start a business, lose the business, break your ankle, and then that whole transition to needing your mom, it was a lot. It was a lot. You didn't want to talk. You know how many days I called you and you was like, Shad, I want to talk today. And I'm like, oh, don't trip, I'm going to pull up. I'm going to pull up. You don't want to talk, but I'm going to pull up. Kind of a situation. So to see you go through all of that, to see you take a job, because you didn't want to work at Spectrum. You was like, nah. Because you so used to being entrepreneurship driven and having all these other things going on where you didn't need to work a regular job. And to see you go, and then look at you flourishing. You don't went up the ladder. You was like, I don't want to be here. And then, boom. And then, boom.
They're making me clock in, friend. What's going on?
And then you went boss over people and they depending on you, but you've always been that leader. Everybody's always depending on you. That's the reality, though. My thing that I hate, though, is so many people know they need you, then they use you, and then they act like you was never there to help them build their things into play. And that's a thing that I really hate, but that's the thing that shines most about you. Because I've been watching people lately post like TBTs and thanking you or whatever for the things that you've done, but those things disappear. But I want to say that even before Secure Bridges and you was on tours with Yes, and you was doing the whole club scene and you was out on 4 days a week by yourself. Even after being jumped, so on and so forth, plus raising the girls, helping me with my kids, and you are your friend, spiritual leader, you are relationship therapist. Even when you be going through something, we don't even ask you what you going through because we study pulling from you. And you do it you do it effortlessly. So I just want to say that genuinely, like, obviously, I love you from the moment I tell you every time we hang up the phone, but you really are the rock that holds a lot of friendships and relationships and everything together. So I thank you, boo.
Yeah.
Hey, boo. Hey, girlfriend.
Got the magic happening. Girl, the feeling is great and I'm loving it. Hey, we